Thanks for tuning in for today's video. Today we're diving in talking all about essential beginner items that you need if you're getting into RVing. A lot of this gets really pricey, but you really need to make sure that you're getting all the items you need before you get out there and start camping. You'll find out a lot of this is like on-the-job training, so you really want to make sure you have all the items before you get out there, but at the end of the day, you're going to be learning as you go. But this is my list of RV essentials. And this isn't an all-inclusive list. This is kind of just the stuff I've came up with just off the top of my head that you might need if you're going out RVing. And just be mindful of some of these things before you actually leave the dealership or something like that, because you might want to buy some of these things. Let's dive in talking about these right now. So the very first thing I would say that you need to get, if your trailer doesn't come with it, is going to be a power supply. So I would suggest getting probably around a 20 to 30 foot power supply. I know this one is only, I think, around 15, and this works for most applications. I have a 30 foot also in the trailer here, but this is what I like because it's nice and compact. Doesn't take up a lot of space. You really need a power supply cable first, and make sure you get one that has good weather protection and stuff like that. Don't just go out and get the cheapest thing that you can find on Amazon, because it's gonna make your life more difficult and it's not gonna be high quality. Another thing you want to do is go ahead and buy all the adapters that you're going to need, these little dog bone pieces that connect to it. So this right here is so you can plug it into your house, just normal 120. And I use this before I go out on camping trips. I'll pull my trailer to my house and let it charge up the batteries and stuff for a couple days, and that way I can just plug it right into my house. So my travel trailer is a 30 amp, so you might want to buy yourself a dog bone that is a 30 to 50 amp conversion. That way, if you go to a campsite that only has 50 amp power, you can plug into that with that adapter and you're gonna be just fine. So you really wanna get all the adapters. Another thing you wanna pay attention to and buy is a surge protector. So you just invested all that money into a travel trailer or an RV, and you go to your first campsite and the power surges and ends up blowing all your electronics out of your camper. Well, you can mitigate that by getting a surge protector. You know, spend 30, 40, 50 bucks or even more on a surge protector, and you're gonna protect your investment. So I strongly suggest getting one of these, and it tells you everything you need to know on when you hook this up to make sure you have a good power flow going into your camper. All right, so that's the first thing: power supply, surge protector, and all the little dog bones that you need. Next thing you need is a black water hose. So if you have a bathroom on your rig, you're gonna need some way to dispose of all the black water. So you have to get a black water hose to do that. Most of the time with the travel trailer, you can store it in the bumper compartment. And just right up front here, I wanna give you a little tip. So this right here is Camco's pest-free bumper end cap. So you can tell it has really small holes and stuff. That way bees can't build nests and things like that in your rear bumper, because they will do it. So the caps that normally come on the bumper have really big openings, so bees will build nests and stuff in there. So for like 8 bucks, I think you can buy these, and it's gonna protect your bumper, and you're not gonna have to worry about bees nests. So you notice I have a glove on. Strongly suggest getting some disposable gloves when you're messing with your black water hose and your hookups and all that. So you're gonna need some type of black water hose. You know, this one I think is around 15 foot. For any campsite that we go to that has full hookups, I haven't had any issues with that, but they do make extension kits and things like that. This right here works for me. Store it away in your bumper, but get a good one. I think I spent around 50 bucks on this Rhino, and I think it's made by Camco, but it works and it's pretty high quality, and that's all you really need. Show you another little tip with the connection pieces that you can do, and use your gloves to do it. So let's move up here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So with your little fittings, once you're done pulling this out of the connection spot, just take your glove off. These are a little dried out, but you can take your glove off and just slide it over those little coupling pieces. And that right there is gonna keep all of those contaminants and everything inside right there. So you're not just throwing this in there with all of the black water and sewage and everything on it. So that's gonna protect that. And I'm sure you can come up with other ideas. This is kind of just what I do. That was the black water hose and the connection pieces. Next thing we're gonna talk about is our freshwater hose. So if you plan on hooking up to city water, or even just filling up your tank at home or something like that, your freshwater tank, you're gonna need some type of water hose. So this isn't just a normal water hose, and it's made for drinking water. So if you've been using your water hose at home for many years and stuff, I wouldn't suggest using that. Okay, and with the water hose, I suggest getting a drinking water filter. So you can buy these just at, you know, Walmart or anywhere that sells RV accessories. You're gonna be able to get one of these water filters, and these last pretty good while. I mean, you could probably use one of these for almost a whole season, and that's if you're doing a lot of camping. Another thing you want to get is a water pressure regulator. So this is one of the biggest items I see people not get and actually end up messing up their rig. And this is just a really simple one made by Camco. And what this does, it limits the amount of pressure that the water has when it comes out of the faucet wherever you're at, whether that's your house or the campsite. A lot of campsites have really high pressure coming out of their water system. So you want to downgrade that pressure, and this is going to do it, because what you're going to do if you hook up without a water pressure regulator, it's going to blow out your faucets, it's going to blow out all the plumbing, because it's not really high quality tubing and plumbing that's inside these RVs. It's made really lightweight, so you want to use this water regulator, or it's going to blow all that out and you're going to be paying a lot of money. Just go ahead, heed my advice, and pick one of these up for less than 10 bucks and you're going to be just fine. All right, so I didn't show you guys before, but this is that 30 to 50 amp conversion. So this is what they call a little dog bone. You can pick these things up for like 15, 20 bucks, and that's going to be downgrading that power to what you need for your rig. So just thought I'd show you that when I was digging it out of this box. Another thing I have in this box that you want to pick up is some fuses. So you want to get a pack of fuses that has all the different fuses that you have in your rig, because let's face it, a lot of times these will blow out and you're going to be out at your campsite and you're not going to be able to use whatever feature that blew. So definitely have some spare fuses. You're going to be glad you did, because it might ruin your camping trip if you can't operate a piece of your equipment on your rig. So always carry a few of those. So the next item you're going to need, whether it's a RV, a Class C, or a travel trailer, is a set of levelers. So I suggest going with these little wedge style levelers, because I think they're just easier. You know, I have my wife help me with this. Usually I'll be in the truck. She'll place these in front of the axles on the trailer, and I'll just drive forward a little bit. She'll tell me when to stop, and it's as easy as that. Most campsites are not going to be so far off level that you're going to need anything more than these. I mean, this is going to offer 4 inches of leveling capability, so that's quite a bit. That's going to get you where you need to be. So if you have a tandem axle like I do, you're going to need 2 sets of these, one in front of each wheel, and then it does come with a little wedge. That way you can kind of lock it into place, okay? And that's going to hold it from slipping out and stuff like that. They do make like stackable style levelers. I think they're just a little bit more complicated. So if you're brand new to RVing, I'd strongly suggest these kind. And these are super quick and easy. So if you're a camper that goes around, you know, stays 1-2 nights at one place and they're moving around, these right here are just so simple. I strongly suggest getting these kind. I'll leave the link in the description box for all these items we're gonna be talking about today. But this right here, past 6 months we've been camping, these have just been a lifesaver, super easy to use. So get you a good set of levelers and you're gonna be just fine. All right, the next thing you're gonna need is some type of way to support the jack. And I mean, I guess you could run this straight on the ground if you wanted to, but just to make it a lot easier and to take up that distance, you can tell this thing's probably about 8 inches tall. And what that's gonna do is provide more stability, because you don't have to push the jack down as far, and that's gonna stabilize it a lot easier. So just get you a little jack block. So another item on the list is wheel chocks. So I got these right here at Harbor Freight. They had the little handle on them. You know, I think these were only like $5-6 bucks a piece, and they work great. So you can get, you know, 2, 3, 4 of these, and you're gonna be just fine. I put them on the wheels just like this most of the time, and really cheap alternative to buying other types of wheel chocks. But these right here are just simple, basic, and they're gonna keep your rig from rolling and stuff when you're hooking up, or whether you're just parking this thing for good. All right, so wheel chocks was the next thing on the list. All right, the next thing you want is a spare tire if you don't have one. My rig actually didn't come with a spare tire. I had to order one. So you definitely want a spare tire, but also you need something to change your tires with. So I strongly suggest getting a high capacity jack, something that's going to be able to lift your rig up nice and easy, because you don't want to be using something that's made just for, you know, a car or something like that. A lot of times it ain't going to work right. So strongly suggest getting a heavy duty jack. Also, you want some type of lug wrench, something that's going to remove the lugs so that you can change your tire, and also something that you can operate your jack with. So definitely get tire changing equipment, because if you were to break down, I get it, a lot of times you'll have roadside assistance, but that might be a long wait. So be prepared for when something like that happens. All right guys, so that's all I have for the beginner essential items that you need for your RV. And once again, this isn't an all-inclusive list. This is kind of just some of the stuff I came up with off the top of my head. So if you're going to be getting a generator, there's other items that go with getting a generator. So if you're not planning on doing shore power, you're planning on doing like boondock camping, things like that, you're going to have a generator. So there's just another list that goes with that right there in itself. So just do some research on YouTube. There's tons of channels out there that break down this kind of stuff. So definitely do your research before you go out and start buying a lot of stuff, or the other way around, you don't buy enough stuff. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff, and stay tuned for future videos. Thanks for watching.